We have this beautiful backdrop that's kind of an homage, actually, to Avion, who had their 50th anniversary last year. So I won't tell you too much about that. People who've seen the show last year will know what I mean. But this local artist, Barbara Brazel, did me this beautiful Avion style backdrop. And that's even something in itself to come and see.
Wow. So, it's interesting you talk about, Laugh In and all the variety shows that used to be on. I mean, they were fantastic. I used to love those shows. And right now I think probably this hour is 22 minutes falls in that, even though it's shorter. They do bits of comedy here, skits. And that's how I grew up. Like when we did a community concert I grew up in Change Islands, we would go to a show. It wouldn't be one long play. It would be, you know, different skits, different groups would do different funny things or play music or everything. That was so it's sort of a throwback to our own heritage a little bit too, to be doing it in that fashion. So it's kind of nice. I think a lot of people are resonating with that style of getting your entertainment as opposed to the one long play, which there's nothing wrong with. It's just nice to have a variety of things to entertain ourselves. Yeah.
There's something very familiar about the old-fashioned concert, you know?
Yes.
Like you said, Newfoundland is known for that, and it can be done anywhere. And this show that we're doing doesn't have to be on the main stage of the Arts and Culture Center. It could be done in a church hall or anything like that we're really familiar with. I mean, some of these skits could be done during a kitchen party in someone's kitchen. So it resonates with the audience because it's familiar, and it's something that, like you said, we all grew up on and we enjoy. It's kind of a style that is very special to Newfoundland for sure.
I went to Change Islands a few years ago, and they always have a concert every year. And so basically all they do is, they divide everybody into groups. So these 4 go do something and these 5 go do something, and then they all bring it together. And it was a riot. I was in tears and belly laughs. And these are just regular people but it was structured. It had sense to it. It wasn't like just random being foolish, but yet it was so funny. I think we're particularly good at having a good time. I think it comes through in the arts all over the place. Like we love to have a bit of fun, and I guess it's because you're sitting in a snowstorm and it's you're all isolated. And back in the day, you'd have a big family, so you'd have to entertain yourselves, and there'd be an organ or something in the house, and perhaps a fiddle or a guitar, and people with time on their hands to make art, and they didn't even know they were doing it. They were just honing their wit on each other and sharpening it, and then it becomes this culturally, I don't know, we're just good at art and good at funny, and we love to have a good time. So, I mean, I think everybody likes to have a good time, but we seem to have made a culture of it, and that's a wonderful thing, I think. And I think...
I think...
Go ahead.
Us as a province, we have so many, inspirations around us. All of us in our lives, in our daily lives, have so many characters we could draw upon. So I don't find writing it that hard. I always say that I change the names in this show to protect the guilty, mainly my mother, because she has given me years and years and years of material, as well as many other family members and friends and stuff. I always nervous when people I know come to the show because I'm afraid they're going to notice themselves up on stage. So I think that is a part of the Newfoundland culture that, we have so many characters around us that this stuff kind of just writes itself.
It does. It does. I mean, you can just go for a visit to somebody's house and you've got characters in the room. That is true. If you're a character-driven writer or, artist, you have your inspiration. It's not even inspiration. You can straight up steal it.
Yeah.
It is true.
Like, family and friends always worry when they see me take out a phone and type because they know I am taking notes on what was just said in the room. And And it's actually become a running joke, really, that people are frightened to death to say things around me because they know it's going to end up in the show.
I do it all the time. I take little notes and I say, and I tell them like this line, whatever they said that just kind of left me in stitches. This is probably going to make it to a book one day. This is probably going to do something,
Yeah.
and not just the funny stuff. Sometimes there's some wisdoms in there that you think, there's a way of when you grow up, on a rock with hardships and turmoil and we do have a lot of that. I don't know. It just seems to me for a quiet place we have a lot going on. Um, you can take the inspiration from those things as well. But generally, even no matter how hard it gets, somebody's finding the humor in it, or trying to break it up by throwing in the humor. And I just love us.
I'm
We're
with you.
fast. We're just great at that. And I go down on the island on Change Islands, and the people down there are just as um, authentic and real, and they just say it, and they still have the dialect and sometimes the choice of words and it just is it's brilliant. And yeah, no shortage of and then of course we have our beautiful landscape and so all over the place. I think artists are the hardship for artists here is figuring out which to write because there's so much. you know, I
Yeah.
think it's
Yeah.
the opposite. We don't get writer's block; we get writer's overload. So, at least that's how I find. It's like I'm always writing notes for the next story while I'm trying to finish the current thing. Um,
I hear you. I'm in
so
one show and I'm thinking about the next.
yeah, it's not a bad problem to have, and uh, I could get me stuck because I could just go on to the next thing, like shiny object, and I'm gone over here. So I've had to become very disciplined. I moved back 6 years ago to write, and I've written. It's not that I haven't written. I've written a lot, but I can't seem to get get organized because there's always something else to draw me away from it. I finally finished something and have a book coming out this year, but it's a challenge, but it's a good challenge, and you got to live here as well. You can't just write. So, uh,
There you go.
lots of road trips. So I want to know more details about the upcoming show. You have something coming soon, so when you listen to this, you will say, "Oh gosh, that sounds great," and you'll be able to go to a show in a couple of days, or I think we're looking at around the 20th.
Yeah, the opening night for Has Been a Time, Here We Go Again will be Sunday, January 20th, and then we'll do a second night the following Monday, January 21st. And like I said last year, this really was our highest selling show. So it's something that if we're only a couple days before when this airs, that people really should call in or drop into the box office and get your tickets because you wouldn't want to be disappointed.
So where do you perform? I mean, I know this, but just for the audience, where do you perform?
Yeah, we're on the main stage, well, particularly this show, main stage of the Gander Arts and Culture Center, the Joseph R. Smallwood Arts and Culture Center. So all the ticket information will be on, say, the website for the Arts and Culture Centers. Or you can call in. The phone number for the box office is 256-1081. So they would be able to assist you with purchasing your tickets.
Wonderful. And they're on sale now? They will start,
They
I
are.
guess they've been for a
They are
while.
on sale. We put them on. We put them on a little bit early because some people like to do them as Christmas gifts.
Perfect Christmas gifts.
Yeah, so they have sold a little, like quite a bit there. So if people want to take in the show, it would be a good idea to get them sooner rather than later.
Absolutely. It's on my agenda. Um,
Yeah.
so, yeah, that's great. And I really hope you have, you break all the legs. and
Well, we can't go too far with that one there, Carolyn, because I had a text from a cast member the other day, and he actually just had surgery on his ankle. Hurt himself
dear.
for Christmas. Yeah, so I think I'm going to have an actor on crutches, but we can work with that. I'm very flexible.
It's funny.
So we usually
Go ahead.
We usually wish everyone to break a leg, but I don't know if I'm going to utter those words in the next couple of weeks. I think I'll wait till show night, I think.
What's funny is my kids are involved with the Beyond the Overpass, which you know, and their friend joined this year because we're in Lewisport, so there's 5 kids that go back and forth. Well, he's the 5th. He just joined this year, and after a few weeks, he actually broke his leg. So they did a show with him on crutches, but they just incorporated it into the program. But it's funny. It's funny for us because we're not the ones with broken bones. But it's interesting that you have encountered the same problem. That's why another reason I don't want to leave the house when it's like this. I might slip on something. And
I know.
And he's 15. His bones healed, like he's walking around now like nothing happened, and it's 6 weeks later, you know. But me, I'd be laid up for a couple of years or something. So I don't need to break anything. But hopefully that heals enough that the show must go on, and that's all there is to it.
There you go.
There you go. All right. Well, we have all the information, and I'm really looking forward to checking out your show. I hope the weather participates so that I can get to Gander that night, one of those nights. And I think it'll be great. So thank you for taking your time. If there's anything you want to add, go ahead.
Time to, no. Like I said again, this wouldn't be possible unless we had... I always say we do what we do because we love to do it, but we're only able to do what we do because of the community support that we get. So it's something we really appreciate, and it's not something we take for granted. So I guess a big thank you from us community theater actors to our community, because we really appreciate being able to bring these shows to the stage.
And something, I don't know if you have sponsors, but a lot of... community groups do, so certainly they're valuable part of the puzzle too, to be able to bring this sort of thing. The audience, the sponsors, the actors, like everything. Nothing is done in a vacuum. And what my kids get out of theater, and they're in the youth theater, is that it is community, and it's all, I find that the lessons they learn in theater are, I don't know if you could learn them anywhere else as well, but everybody has to do their part. Everybody has to pitch in where they're needed. The community is important. The money is important. I mean, sponsorship, fundraising, and collaboration and teamwork. And it's like all of the lessons and all of the things that you need to learn can be learned by participating in theater. So I agree
100%.
I'm a big fan of it for many, many, many reasons. Mostly because I just like to go. You know, I'm the audience, so I just like to go and sit and just absorb it. But it is a wonderful endeavor from every angle. So good for you guys for keeping it up for 66 years. Wow, something is older than me.
I tell you. We're some good looking for how old we are, let me tell you.
I'll tell you, right? That's also what happens. That's a Newfoundland, too. That's a Newfoundland thing. We're all good looking. Anyway, well, it's been great talking to you. Thank you so much. And I really do look forward to a show. Well, hopefully. We haven't met, so hopefully well, I don't think we have. I don't know. I meet so many people. We may have, but... I don't think so. So hopefully we'll see you in a few days in Gander and say hello in person.
If you get to the show, maybe I can arrange a little backstage pass where you can see the inner workings, and we can show you that aspect as well.
That'd be fun. I'd love that. All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good day.
Right.
You've been listening to Bridges radio program. Find us again next Friday at 8 p.m. Bridges is produced at Citadel House Studios in Lewisport, Newfoundland and Labrador, and is a collaborative project between Carolyn R. Parsons and Citadel House.